Hey, what's up? I'm Darkbblue, trying to help everyone enjoy games in depth. Welcome back to our Elden Ring walkthrough guide. This is the final video of the series, finishing the last piece of content of the DLC. Let's first deal with Mesmer. He has a relatively similar characteristic to Mother of Fingers. It's really hard to tell if his combos have really terminated until you become highly familiar with him. Therefore, we're using Spontaneous Guard, utilizing its feature that you can wait for a small moment before doing the counter. At the same time, some special attacks of Mesmer's need to be dealt with using Vow of Indomitable, so you can equip a shield and infuse this skill onto it, using the shield and the single-handed weapon combat style rather than the two-handed weapon combat style. Alternatively, you can also use a thrusting shield and two-handed, so that you can utilize the two-handed sword talisman. Most regular attacks from Mesmer can be spontaneously guarded, but he has a fire-infused whipping attack that can hit you from behind the shield, which should be dodge-rolled. The other advantage of using Spontaneous Guard against Mesmer is related to his slow attacks. If you dodge-roll instantly after seeing the pre-attack animation, you will just be hit by the slow attacks. But if you replace the dodge rolling with Spontaneous Guard, you still have the chance to fix the mistake, guarding again at the proper timing. Then two special attacks in phase 1. Mesmer's Assault. The correct timing for dodging the thrust is quite confusing, so use Vow of Indomitable instead. Orb at the start of the fight. Dodge roll twice at the correct timing. You can jump dodge the first hit, but in most times this doesn't give you any extra benefits, only extra risks. Now into phase 2, some serpent form attacks are added to Mesmer's regular attacks. They can be tackled using both Spontaneous Guard and Vow of Indomitable if you feel a bit struggling in finding the correct guard timing. Now special attacks added in phase 2. Orb at the start of phase 2. Make sure you lock on Mesmer. Then, when the glowing point indicating your lock-on location is out of the screen, dodge roll once. Then dodge roll again after a small interval. Note that this interval is slightly longer than that in the phase 1 orb attack. Serpent Form Special Attack. The initial energy burst has very long attack frames, unable to be covered by Vow of Indomitable, so you need to retreat from Mesmer in time, in advance actually. Then Vow once, lock once, Vow once again. In the end, Mesmer will use either Mesmer's Assault or the Orb attack, which can be dealt with based on the same strategies as their individual versions. After the fight, let's go to Raw Ancient Ruins. You need to teleport to the ground floor of Storehouse and turn left. Move forward across the bridge until you reach the next grace. Prepare for a fight against a hippopotamus. Then turn left and descend the elevator to grab a fragment dropped by the hippopotamus. Now return to the previous grace and turn right instead, which brings you to an underground room. Follow the route shown in the video and enter the rectangle hole. You need to deal with the scorpions here. They tend to use charging attacks and you can use shield guard waiting at their termination position. After the fight, move forward and turn right to defeat a figure with a pot, who drops another fragment. Descend from the spirit spring and find a dead end somewhere where you can find a special talisman. It adds iframes to your backstab so that you can dodge attacks using it. Compared to rolling, backstab has much shorter recovery frames, so it's similar to spontaneous guard. Reach the next grace to obtain another fragment, then cross the bridge and find yourself at the entrance to another room. First turn left and clear the mobs waiting here to deal with a curse blade. Then return to the previous room and loot a fragment. Afterward, return to the corridor and take the elevator up. Into the next room, you need to go upstairs and activate the grace. Then return downstairs and loot an incantation from behind the wall. This incantation, called Path Thread Spears, is an enhanced version to Path Thread. The next boss, Scent of Bud, has relatively low HP and it's highly weak to fire damage, so you can use stat stacking against her. If you wish to interact with her instead, there's a special attack where she spins and deals 3 hits. This attack cannot be easily dodge rolled, but you can use shield guard or backstab for this attack. After the fight, go through the back door of the arena and burn the sealing tree, teleported to the Spiral Rise in near Elden. You can find a lot of Horned Warriors and their variants along the way, so you want to prepare some Eternal Sleep Ports and Wild Strike. After activating the grace, go to a plaza and clear the crowds of mobs. Turn left and upstairs to defeat a Divine Beast Warrior. Then you need to go through an area while being targeted by 2 snipers. You can use Assassin's Gambit to make things easier, but it can still be very dangerous. At next grace, you can loot another fragment. Return to the sniper post and locate a hidden path. After a series of jumping down, you will get back to the tower settlement, where you can find a fragment. Plus, if you go further forward, you will loot a somber twin blade suitable for our build. Teleport to the previous grace and go upward. There are many birds here, and you can use shield guard or range attack against them. Jump down to your right and make the way so that you can sneak behind a Divine Beast warrior. After the fight, locate a small room nearby where there's another fragment. Finally, you will reach a huge arena with a very strong Divine Beast warrior. It's recommended that you just skip the fight and activate the next grace before heading back for the fight. Near the next grace, you can find a fragment. Then you need to complete an NPC fight, which is really chaotic and fun. You can summon some allies and a spirit ash, and then use Giant Hound or other interesting skills.
I could not hope for a worthier foe. This is our moment. Let's make it something to remember. You were fine. In your heart, truly a glorious battle. It was.
I am of the pure blood. I stand with blade aloft, blood of fire, for the dignity of my lord and master Mode. Righteous tarnished, it appears that our interests have aligned. Balm upon my soul it is that we do not meet today as enemies. Now, my blade.
Take the elevator and arrive at the gate before the Consort Radon fight. He and our next boss, Vale, are both weak to thrusting damage. So let's purchase a sword lance at Roundtable Hold using the Remembrance of Commander Gaius, using heavy affinity. Then for this fight, I offer you 3 strategies, and you can choose whichever you like. The first one is Spontaneous Guard, paired with Resolve skill. Its advantage is very high damage output. However, you may accidentally be hit by the lights in phase 2 due to complex factors such as angle, distance, and knockback combined together. Therefore, you need to deal very high damage to kill Radon before he kills you. If you decide to use this strategy, pay attention to if an attack will knock you back too much so that your guard counter cannot hit the boss. If an attack will knock you back, you need to dodge roll it instead. If you prefer safety over speed, my other recommendation is light rolling using Wind Crystal tier. Light rolling, compared to regular rolling, has longer distance, faster recovery, and faster stamina recovery. As a result, you only need to roll simply, straightly forward, rather than into any other complex directions. You will automatically be pushed by the hitbox of the boss into safe zones. Furthermore, if you dodge roll the first hit of Blood Flame, you will automatically be positioned in the safe zone with respect to the third explosion hit, which is another advantage. Of course, you can still make use of Resolve when using this strategy. If you choose this strategy, you need to memorize how long the post-attack windows of Radon's different combos are. In the shorter window, you can use Resolve. In the longer window, you can use an actual attack buffed by your previous Resolve. Now the third is Light Rolling plus Raptor of the Mist. The basic benefit of using Raptor of the Mist is that it lets you use jump attack rather than a weak rolling attack in the post-attack windows, dealing much more damage, which can also benefit from the jump attack talisman. Additionally, if your weapon has jump light attacks that are fast enough, you can land hit a made some of Radon's combos, where the sword lance is fast enough. If you choose this strategy, you need to prioritize at memorizing the combo finishers and the chances to land hit amid the combos. You need to memorize the basic attacks of Rodon, which I believe is in fact relatively easy. So next I will focus solely on his special attacks. Gravity Meteor. Run backward, then jump sideways. In phase 2, this attack will be followed by Illusion Clone attacks. Block the incoming attacks of the clones and use Wall of Indomitable. The longest combo starting with Dump. There's a very large safe window amid this combo. During this window, you can use Resolve or Rector of the Mist here for higher damage output. The AoE Light Pillar attack used at the start of phase 2. Just use Rector of the Mist. The prime timing is slightly after when all the sounds become quiet. Falling Star attack used near his death. You need to run away from your initial position as he starts this attack as far as possible. In most time it means running towards the edge of the field. You may consider taking this chance to summon the spirit. Lastly, it's time for the final boss of the DLC. Go to the Jagged Peak from the Dragon Pit. Along the way, you will find 2 flying dragons fighting each other, which I simply skipped because it's too annoying. Move forward into a cave. Here you can find the last fragment of the DLC. Then up ahead, we need to fight an ancient dragon, who deals a lot of large AoE damage. For this fight, you need to first bait its attacks by standing in front of it, and then ride to its back, which is a safe zone. For counterattacking, use Path Threat Spears. Know that this incantation can be charged, so you can use Godfrey's icon in addition to the 2 incantation talismans. Eventually, you will reach the peak of the mountain, which is the arena for Baal. If you prefer stat stacking, you can stack some buffs and use Path Threat Spears. If you prefer interaction, here are its moves. The recommended strategy is light rolling with Wind Crystal Tear for regular attacks and Raptor of the Mist for special attacks. When counterattacking, since the jump heavy of sword length is too short and its charge attack is too slow, the recommended move is Jump Lat attack. I'll just skip all the Fire Breath attacks which can be easily dodged with light rolling and directly go to its melee combos. Double Sweeping, a relatively easy combo. After rolling twice, you can do a charge attack. Dash and Tail Sweeping. After rolling twice, do a charge attack. Grab attack. roll backward and do a rolling attack, then Bale will use the first double sweeping combo, which can be tackled in the same way as individual double sweeping combos. More, roll backward once and observe if the combo is still going on. If not, do a rolling attack. The shouting combo. Roll forward once and then roll to the 1 o'clock direction. Flying slam. The dodge timing is a bit confusing. You cannot wait until you see Bale coming down, which would be too late. You need to dodge roll when you see Bale stretch his feet. In phase 2, this attack will transform into Great Flying Slam, which is in fact easier to deal with, and will be introduced later as a special attack. Flame Lightning. After the initial hit, Bale is likely to repeat the strike. Then there are many variations of the succeeded combos after the first 2 hits, yet basically these variations won't add too much work to your memorization. In phase 2, lightnings will strike a few seconds after the flame lightning attack, so you need to make sure you are not in the dangerous zone. Generally, roll into 1 o'clock direction is likely to send you out of any possible dangerous zone. The Great Swing. After the initial attack, Bale will use more once, which should be dodged by rolling forward. Afterward, the combo will transition into a downward grab, after which you can land a jumping heavy. In phase 2, the Great Sweep will also have the visual effect as Flame Lightning does, so it might be a bit confusing which combo Bale is using. You might want to pay extra attention to distinguishing them. Next, into special attacks. Bale's Tyranny, used as phase transition. You don't need to run away, simply use Raptor of the Mist, can evade it. Then there will be lightnings falling from the sky. Keep dodge rolling to evade all of them. At last, Bale will dive from the sky, which again can be evaded using Raptor of the Mist. Breath from the Sky in phase 2. Use Raptor of the Mist to evade the first hit, then keep dodge rolling sideways as soon as you land in order to evade the second hit. The Great Flying Slam in phase 2. First dodge roll the first landing hit, then do a rolling attack, and finally use Raptor of the Mist to evade the explosion. This is my final attribute. Now the walkthrough guide ends here. I hope you can at least get some fun from it. Elden Ring still has a lot of interesting content to offer, so you can try some different builds or the New Game Plus mode if you want more. If you want to play games into depth together with me, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, see you around.